Hey everyone, how are you guys doing today? Thanks for joining me again. One of the issues I have in the shop, I have a small shop in the basement, until hopefully within a year I build a 2.5 car garage out back, is moving the camera around from each piece, from the drill press to the chop saw to the jigsaw to the table saw. How do I get that angle from above? What I've got is and I'll show you a couple of them, I've got boards hanging from the ceiling that I can clamp this little apparatus onto. And the GoPro, if you haven't used one, has this little portion right here. So every time I want to move this around, I'm having this on here. Then I'm having to clamp this onto a board, try and move these little knobs, and get everything to adjust and just get the right angle. It is time consuming. So, how can I fix that? My wife was getting her nails done yesterday, so I walked across the street and went to a music store. Just gonna go browse, and I came across a mic stand. A used mic stand, only $30. Bought this little gooseneck for $7, and this will be able to be flexible. And this is the best part, is being able to get over each tool within the workshop. What we're going to do today is we're going to epoxy a board on the top. We're going to mount a GoPro mount on here. So all I have to do is slide it on, and then I will be able to move, get over. I can go over my shoulder. It is going to be awesome. So let's cut out a piece of wood, hardwood. I'm not even sure what type it is because I got a bunch of blocks for turning from somebody at work. And then we are going to mount a GoPro mount on top of it. We're going to epoxy that on here, and we're going to see how it works. And I am going to show you some of the boards in the workshop and how I've been hooking on over the top of the tool. All right, let's go check this out. Here's one board that's attached to a 2x4. I will use this, and I'll attach this on here to get over the top of the chop saw. I've got one on the drill press over there, you can see, right underneath the new paper holder. If you haven't checked out my video on that paper holder, check that out. I've got one up here in the rafter that'll come down when I'm using the router shaper. Okay, I decided to go over what we're going to need to complete this project. We're going to need our calipers. We'll use that to measure how big of a hole we're going to need to drill to put this into the back of the wood. We're going to use the epoxy to attach that. We're going to need the GoPro mount. This is a slide-in mount. It's got an epoxy on the back, which would probably hold it on here, but we're going to put a couple little small Phillip head screws in there just to be certain that it doesn't fall off. This is the slide-in mount that will go on there. This will be hooked to the GoPro. It just slides in there. You can put this down to lock it in place. We will need the Forstner bit to drill the hole for that size. We'll figure out which Forstner bit we need. We will use the drill, cordless drill, with the countersink bit to drill the holes for those small little Phillip head screws. And we will use our epoxy station. We have a new little solo cup. And we've got our Rockler brush and the JB Weld 5-minute. All right, so what we're going to do to start off with is we're going to drill a couple little holes in here with the countersink bit. We have to do the countersink just for the plain fact that this slides in. And we got to make sure those screw heads are down below because there's very little clearance here. So we're just going to use this sacrificial board. And we're just going to put a little hole in here. Those are very small screws, so I really don't need to go down very far. There we go, just a real small hole. We'll do it on the other side. Like I said, this is probably overkill because this two-way tape on the back here is really strong. So next we need to determine what size Forstner bit we're going to need for this. So we're going to use our calipers. Going to turn them on. zeroed out. Then we're going to open it up and close it. So about a 39/64. It's going to be probably pretty close to a 5/8. So if I take a line straight across, I'm going to make this pretty even right with the edge. And then I'm just going to draw corner to corner to get the center mark, and that's where I'm going to put the epoxy at. Or drill the hole so we can put the epoxy in. So right about there is where we want to go. Okay, so we're over at the drill press. I've clamped this in place. We're going to drill this through. Probably going to go almost all the way through, at least bury this. Now what we're going to do is trace this out again on this side. We did it on the other side. And what we're going to do first, I think, though, is probably drill or mark these holes, because this wood is really tough. Almost smells like a Coca-Cola. Okay, we're going to use this drill probably. Usually to figure out which size drill is just put the drill up against this screw and see if you can just see the threads coming out on each side of the drill. We'll put the little sacrificial piece of wood there, as we don't want to drill through the mat. Alright, so I've sanded this down so it just about matches this perfect. Got our epoxy hole in the back. Got our screw holes, line them up, make sure we're putting this on the right way. We're going to pull off the backing. Like I said, this will probably stay without the backing, without the screws, but we'll put them just as a backup. Don't want your camera falling off. Pre-drill those holes. Alright, so I put the two screws in there. You can see they're below the surface. Got our nice little block. It's not going to matter which way this faces. This will slide nicely in there now. Locks in place, so we'll be good to go there. Alright. And we put down the Rockler silicone mat just in case anything drips. Okay, that should be set up pretty good. Now what we're going to do is figure out where we're going to put this. So I put this little mark on here. That's going to be the front. When I tighten this all the way down, that's about the front. So this is where we're going to want the epoxy, is right there. So what we're going to do is we're going to fill this cavity with a lot of epoxy. If it oozes out around the outside edge, I'm okay with that. Pop out the, fill it in that hole. It should be good. We'll let that harden up and we'll be done. Okay, it's the next day. I let this harden overnight. I had to get to work anyways. So we're going to take the clamp off and see how this is. Look at that. Nice little job as far as the epoxy. And that is solid. So now we're going to hook this onto the boom, and then we're going to put the GoPro on it and see how it looks. Hey guys, thanks for joining me. So our little project's done. We've got it on the gooseneck here. So what we're going to do is I'm going to show you the camera that I use when I'm videotaping my GoPro. I like the GoPro because it's got a fixed focal length. Doesn't zoom in and out when my hand goes in front or I'm trying to point something out. Let's slide this on and see what happens. So we'll just bend this up. Slide it into place, it locks. Now I will be able to get nice close shots of the saw, of the drill press, of the router, of the jigsaw, of the sander. This worked out great. It's going to be a lot easier to do the videos. Thank you very much for building this with me, and have a great day. Let's build something together again in the near future. And don't forget to check out the videos, and I'd love it if you'd hit the subscribe button, all right? Thank you. Bye-bye.